I am Bob Fabien Zinga. I go by BZ, and I'm currently the commanding officer for the Navy Reserve NAV Network Global Network Security Operations Center for the U.S. Navy Reserve. I have about 72 people or so that I lead, so I pretty much set the strategy and also oversee the implementation and operation of my team. And I've been doing cyber security since about 2005, and I've been leading the cybersecurity function since 2011. So it's about 12, 13 years or so for the U.S. military, the Navy, the Army, higher education institution like the University of Alabama, most recently Santa Clara University, but also a dozen of high-tech companies here in Silicon Valley, California. That's a very long story. I guess I got into IT back in 1997, and at the time I didn't have any IT background or experience. Somebody just showed me grace and favor, gave me a job I wasn't really qualified for. It was an entry-level position as a computer technician assistant, right? So really my goal was to learn how to be efficient in the role. So I used to be a little bit afraid of computers and technology. And one thing I did to overcome that fear, we had a whole bunch of computers that were in the inventory, computers we were going to get rid of. So I used one of those computers one day, and I just opened up the computer and I removed every single component, right? And then I put the computer back together, and it worked. And that's really when I was able to overcome my fear of technology. I really convinced myself I could pretty much learn anything, right? And from that job, I was working for the University of Alabama libraries. And when the next promotion I got, it was around 2001, I decided to actually get my certification and become a Microsoft certified system engineer. Back then, that was a pretty big deal. That was on Windows 2000, Windows 2003. And during that time, Microsoft came up with a concentration in security. So I kind of took, it was about 3 or 4 additional classes you needed to take to become Microsoft certified system engineer with a security concentration. And I took all of the Microsoft exam and passed it. But I really realized then that I really loved security, and I wanted to do more of it, and I really wanted to do it full time. And it was not until 2005, right, that I had the opportunity to become a security engineer for the University of Alabama. Kind of like what they say, right? The rest is history. So basically, up to that time, I was a director of IT, and then I went from being a director to becoming a security engineer because I wanted to do security full time. And around the same time, I had also enlisted into the U.S. Navy as a seaman recruit. So about 2005, I became a IT seaman. So my rate in the Navy was IT, and later on in 2007, 2 years later, I became an ensign, so a direct commission officer in the U.S. Navy Reserve. I became an information professional officer, basically working to configure and also defend Navy systems worldwide against threats and attacks. So basically, my experience in both the Navy and the industry doing security full time is really what eventually led me in 2011 to be the de facto CISO for the Defense Language Institute. My official title then was Director of Cybersecurity and Privacy, and I pretty much helped build their network from scratch, and put all of the security control in place to defend our network from global threats. And after the Defense Language Institute, I moved to Silicon Valley, where I worked for a couple dozen of high-tech companies. My last job, I was the head of information security and IT for a company called Directly, using artificial intelligence and machine learning for customer support automation, and most recently the CISO for Santa Clara University. So I must say what really got me into cybersecurity was just the fact that I took that first Microsoft security course, and I really loved it. I really enjoyed it, and I was passionate about it, and that's what I wanted to do with my life. And and everything else kind of fell into a place, from going from position to position, from company to company, to kind of increase my experience and get different perspective on cyber security, and being in different environment, and eventually becoming a CISO in the industry, and then the commanding officer in the US Navy Reserve. I think I started studying the CISO program. I believe it was in 2018. I think is when I became a CISO. I went to the headquarter building for EC Council in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a 5-day course. What I love about the certified CISO program is it's pretty comprehensive, right? And what I also love is it's not just technical, but it also takes into account business acumen, right? Because as a CISO, you are definitely a business leader for your organization as well. I really love the balance of not only being highly technical, but also having business sense, business skills, so you can really add value to your organization, right? So a lot of the things I have learned while I was there, while taking through the program, was in many ways a review. I mean, one important thing we learned was the risk assessment, being able to manage cyber risk within an organization. And what I also love is they also talked about budget and about many other things, but it's really this idea that you do manage cyber risk, IT risk, really the same way you would financial risk, right? Especially in Silicon Valley, the great majority of organizations I've worked with, they really know exactly how to manage their financial risk, but they don't always pay attention to their cyber risk. So I think when you come out of this wonderful program as an executive, you just get much better at speaking the language of senior management, right? The language of the C-level suit, where your colleague, right, the leaders of the other business function within your organization are going to be to understand what you are talking about, and also value what you do as far as leading the cyber security function. This is probably the most important lesson I really got out of the CISO training, and I really recommend it highly to anyone, whether you are working in non-profit or in the industry or the military or the government. I think we all need to have this foundational learning in order to be able to better lead the cyber security function. Yes, so I guess for a long time, CISSP has pretty much been a requirement for many of the CISO role, or at least senior role in information security. I think one of the push is probably because of the Department of Defense, because that really became a hard requirement for those who are member of the DoD cyber workforce. And CISSP is really good because it really covers, I mean, it used to be 10 domain, now it's the 8th domain of information security. But one of the challenges with CISSP is you study all of the 8 domain of cybersecurity. However, you don't really become an expert in all of them, right? It's like 8 domain, it is a lot to study. So for most people, they may be really, really good and deep in maybe 1 or 2, but then the other 6 domain, they know just very, very little, right? They used to say an inch deep and a mile wide, right? So you have a lot of knowledge, but you are not really an expert into each one of those domains. And what I love about the Certified CISO program is it's 5 domain only, and it's really focused on management, on the executive role as a Chief Information Security Officer. And then you really get deep into those 5 domains. So I think they kind of complement one another. If you are a certified information systems security professional today, I believe if you want to become a senior professional in the information security domain, I believe you really need to consider going to the CISO course, because I think it is going to help not just with your cybersecurity skill, but your business acumen as well, and prepare you to better lead a global organization. So that's why I would highly recommend the CCISO curriculum. I think it's really helped me be more effective, and it also focuses even on leading your high performing information security team only. Like I said, it's not just technical; it's about business. It's about leadership and being fully aligned to the strategic objective of whatever organization you work with. I think once you get out of the training and you pass the exam, you can be confident that someone with a CCISO certification is ready to lead your cybersecurity function from day one, ready to really hit the ground running. Yes, absolutely. I really believe that every chief information security officers in the world really should get this wonderful certification. However, I feel like the CSSM and the MP concentration for CSSP kind of really touch the surface, whereas the CISO really gets deep into the 5 domain, right, of information security management, which is governance, risk, and compliance, which every CISO needs to become an expert in that. And another domain is information security control and audit management, security program management and operation, information security and core competency. And then the last domain is the strategic planning, finance, procurement, and third-party management. I think it really takes an individual to become an expert in all 5 domains to really be an effective chief information security officer or head of information security, right? Because then not only you are able to really lead the compliance initiative of your organization, but also manage risk and being able to talk to senior management and the board of director or trustees of your organization, lead the security operation, manage all of the incident and the third party and the budget and the finances. So it is very comprehensive. So it definitely made a huge difference in my career, both in the US Navy and in the industry. I don't think I would have been as good of a security leader without the Certified Chief Information Security Officer training. And the other thing I love about this is also, it's not just that you went to the training like I did back in 2019. It was 4 years ago, but every year you really need to continue learning, right? Continuing education credit is what you need to obtain in order to renew your certification. And we really live in a world where it's very important to keep up, right, with the knowledge, because cybersecurity knowledge is just expanding exponentially, right? And we have to be able to keep up with that, going to conferencing and meeting with our colleagues and peers and seeing what works, what doesn't work in each one of their industries, and also being able to write and teach on this subject, right? So it really encourages the certified cadre, which I think is about 2,500 people worldwide now who are certified Chief Information Security Officer, but to really keep up their skill, their competence, and their knowledge, which is really a great plus for any organization that would hire them. So I really do believe it is a game changer and such a great honor to be selected among the 50 in the Hall of Fame in 2023. Yes, absolutely. I think if you are going to become a senior information security professional, regardless of the domain, whether it's application development, security operation, or even audit compliance, yes, I believe that is definitely going to help you get a more comprehensive view of what a CISO office, an information security office, is supposed to do, kind of help you with your blind spot, but also kind of help with the team really working as a one, right? Complementing one another and together working to advance the policy and the objective of the information security office. So yes, I think it is definitely a must. Whether you're talking about security architecture or even business continuity. So basically, even for some of the people who are outside of a strict information security team, like even those who are in engineering, infrastructure, or even IT. I think for some of the senior leader, the CISO training would be extremely helpful to them. This way they can really understand what the ISO office is supposed to do and how they can complement that in their specific function. I think it just helps you be a much better executive within IT, not just security, in my opinion. I believe the 5 domains that you study when you go to the CISO course, and then you are questioned about during the exam. I think it is crucial for anyone who's leading the cybersecurity function of any organization in any industry. I believe it's very comprehensive, right? And those are really the 5 areas where every cybersecurity leader needs to really to become an expert in. Now, coming in, and I know the main one I really love talking about: governance, risk, and compliance. That was probably my favorite one. But I also like domain 3, which was about security program management and operation, right? Because in my opinion, as a CISO, the bottom line is you have to be effective within the organization, right? You need to advance the cyber security function. But in my experience, right, I've been doing this for quite a while. It's almost impossible for the information security office to be able to do everything they need to do just within their organization. I think at a certain point, right, you have to develop as a leader and be able to influence people outside of your function, right, to get them to do things that are going to help the organization as a whole, right? Whether it's engineering or IT or whatever, or even HR, right? So working together to accomplish the objective, the strategic objective of the organization, but doing it in a safe and secure way. And I feel like the CISO training really prepares you to be that effective leader, where you develop not just as a technical leader, but as a business leader as well, right? And then I think this is the only security training I have taken. I've taken training for CISM, for CSSP, the MP concentration, but none of them really focus on finance and procurement. But the CCISO training does, where you really learn how to effectively manage a budget. And I think that is extremely important for you to advance your function, being able to get the resources, the funding that you need in order to do the job that you do. And then once you get the funding, being able to effectively spend that budget. And this is really one of the only executive training I have seen that actually focuses an entire domain on that. So I've already mentioned 3 out of the 5 domains. I really love everything about everything I have learned. Some of it, like I said, was maybe kind of like a review, especially about risk and compliance, but it is so much more than just that, right? Again, my take-home message is the CCISO training is not just about technical learning. It's not just about technical education, but it's about you becoming a better leader and you becoming a better business leader, even being able to manage your budget and be a very effective executive within the suite of executive within your organization and beyond. Well, first of all, I think it is a great honor, right? Like I said, we have a cadre of about 2,000 to 2,500 certified CISO around the world, right? It's not that many people, and I'm being selected top 50 among all of them, and many of them too are my mentors as well, right? People I have learned from. So it is really a great honor to join their rank, and I think I am just very humbled and very grateful for being selected, and I really want to do everything I can, right, to kind of give back into this cyber security industry. One thing I have really learned since I've been coming up through the rank, like I said, since 2005, right? That was 18 years ago that I started. About 18 years or so. I started doing cybersecurity full time, initially at the University of Alabama. I have learned a whole lot, but what I've really learned throughout this last 18 years is our best security practices. They really need to evolve and change, with the technology and the nature of the threats that we face currently, right? It is not static. So whatever I learned, even when I went through the CISO program back in 2019, 4 years ago, it was really good. It was current, but even that knowledge needs to be updated, right? Needs to remain current, and it also needs to be something that people will find that knowledge is something that they can use right here and right now. That it needs to be valuable to them and readily usable, regardless again of their industry or their organization or whatever cyber threat they might be facing. So I think as a Hall of Fame member, I feel like part of my responsibility is to give back to the industry and to help update, right, those best cyber security practices based on the threats that we are facing and the evolving nature of the cyber security industry, but also to really help equip the next generation of CISOs, of head of information security, of director of information security operations out there. I mentor quite a few people myself, and really making sure that these future leaders of the cyber security industry have been well equipped and trained, and they have the knowledge and the know-how to help improve our cyber security posture across the globe and across industry. I think that's probably one of the most important responsibility for those of us who have been selected, or those who have had the opportunity to be certified Chief Information Security Officer certification. Absolutely, and I really believe that the CISO certification is really the only one out there, right, for senior executive. It's well balanced, no? Again, it talks about all of the technical skills you need to have, management and project management competency, but also the finances and the leadership, but also getting that business language, that your peers in the C-suite will understand, whether it's your CEO or your CFO or anybody else that kind of leads organization in any industry. I really think this should almost become a requirement, because I know the people who have gone through this training, they really have developed the competencies, the skills, the knowledge, and the expertise to be able to lead the cybersecurity function successfully in any industry, anywhere in the world. So yes, I absolutely highly recommend it to all of my peers and to all of the people who also aspire to one day be becoming a CISO or head of cyber security function. It really must become a prerequisite, in my opinion. So it is a great investment to do into your future, into your professional development, so that you might be able to really add significant value to your organization.